will bring it away for the Dogs. English in front. Beautiful fist away there. Again falls to Shield. Parrish. And Heppel has drifted inside forward 50, takes the mark.
It's good signs early just from the Bombers, just locking in their forward half. The Bulldogs.
As Hind marks, and he will now have the shot.
So Bulldogs are struggling to get it out of their D50 with a couple of kickings and really good ball users, mind you, with Daniel somewhat of a scrappy kick out, but setting up really well behind the ball. And that'll be a focus for Essendon moving into the season. Such a strong start to their season last year defensively, particularly in their forward half, being a forward half turnover team, and then their pressure around the ball.
It's a revelation for the Bombers last year, and he gets a beautiful kick to go through the middle. The Bombers had the first goal of the game through Nick Hind, finished 8th in their best and fairest. Leaf as Heppel fists it away. Daniel was waiting there at ground level. Again, fantastic handball from Daniel. Johannesson into the arc again. Waitman one-on-one with Laverde. Norton, beautiful tap to Waitman. And then to Hannon. That is textbook Bulldogs forward half craft. And they get their first through the former Demon, Mitch Hannon, with the Western Bulldogs' first major.
Well, they did a really good job just to restrict Essendon's ball movement. They did bring it in quick after that.
Long enough as footy fans to get back there. It's been essentially 2 years. I think they'll be wanting to get back to the footy and see the likes of Bontempelli back to his best, as almost kicked off the ground there by Treloar, who fed it back beautifully to Stefan Martin. And just like that, the Bulldogs have 2 goals in a minute. The Ruckman gets the goal in season number 15. Oh, he's approaching season number 15, rather. Almost ahead of his 200th game. And the Ruckman is, if he's able to do that, Brendan, drift forward and kick goals like that for the Dogs this year, that's a huge asset.
Oh, that's the flexibility I think they need out of him. We know that, albeit he is an elder statesman and he's a little bit older, that he can play ruck, but he needs to add that string to his bow, which he had done so well right early on in his career. But the position he's in now, if they want to play the 2 ruckmen in English.
Often does, Jack McRae. Treloar, no one on the mark, plays on immediately. Linking up via hand, the Dogs. Liberatore to English, promising ball movement. This from Luke Beveridge's side. He's got Hannon, short, just gets to him. Hannon was one of the 2 goal kickers for the Dogs in the first quarter, the other being Steph Martin. Norton has 3 to beat, and he beats them, does he? Oh, the umpire initially called play on, and then paid the mark. He came from deep there, Aaron Norton. He's one of the best contested markers in the game. You be the judge at home as we see Hannon kick the ball inside 50.
In the air, it wasn't a good decision actually by Hannon to play on, because Essendon had the numbers back. But the Bombers defenders and the backline coach won't be too happy with the work that was put into Norton early. And
Norton makes the most of it, and he kicks the Bulldogs' 3rd goal. That's 3 straight goals now for the Bulldogs. Has a look inside 50. Perkins working hard, and it gets there in the end, and he will settle the tempo down and have a look at the goals.
Really good kick by Jones in the end, but again, a pressure around the ball. I just felt like Essendon started this quarter a little bit slow, in particular just with their pressure and their team defence. Bulldogs moving the ball quite freely from one end to the other a number of times, but that particular time the pressure was really good around the ball. Gwilfie found that loose ball to hit the ground because of a turnover, and then Perkins pushed really hard forward to get on the end of this.
And they'll be looking to him this year to kick a few more goals, and Perkins delivers here in the practice match. He gets Essendon's 2nd. Lovely kick from Archie Perkins, the pick 9 from a couple of years ago. Trim the locks. Couldn't find a teammate, although Stewart arrives at the right time. Grasped here by Norton, who sees Hunter working hard, and he marks from a very almost identical position that he had a set shot from just moments ago. Now there's a free kick off the ball. In fact, it's going to be advanced 50 metres here right to the goal line. Johannesson was applauding, so may have been involved there.
It was it was Cutler. Waitman was doing a really good job getting some movement ahead of the ball to try and hit up on the lead, and Cutler just came across and took him high when he tried to apply a bit of physical pressure on him. So it was an obvious free kick, and it was obviously the ball. It was a 50-metre penalty from where the mark was taken, so hence why the shot from directly in front on the
cross and take a mark inside Essendon's forward half. So just a reminder, 30-minute flat quarters today. So still just over 11 minutes remaining in the 2nd quarter. Right. Took a lot of players down with him. Couldn't hold it. Certainly not holding back in pre-season. but Snelling has come up with it. Quite
that must have been
remarkable.
a free kick, wasn't it?
Will Snelling will now have a shot directly in front of goal. Just 175 centimetres at Peter Wright coming the other way. Here's a look on replay. I think he may
he's copped on high as he grabbed that ball from Richards. But this is...
As he kicks the goal, Will Snelling, coming off a wonderful year last year, finished third in Essendon's best and fairest, and a real good example of making the most of your opportunity from a new way onto an AFL list, mid-season draftee from a couple of years ago. Played every game in 2020. 50. Norton attempted to mark, and he's just favouring his finger here. Aaron Norton. So keep our eyes on that as Smith sends it back inside 50. Hannon from behind. Oh, Bontempelli. Terrific contested mark from the captain.
Just looking at Norton just to make sure he's okay. I think he's potentially just popped the finger or something. But again, it was great ball use from Bulldogs from the back half. We made mention of Richards having a real impact. It was noticeable with the possessions he has had that he's having a real impact on the game off half back, but then brings the ball inside, opens up the whole ground. And then, apart from a drop mark, which you probably expect Norton to take 8-9 times out of 10, it was terrific ball movement from the Bulldogs.
No mistake from Bontempelli. Goals have been hard to come by so far in this game, but the superstar comes up with his first goal of the day, coming off one heck of a 2021 campaign.
Another use rather than this, their one wood, so to speak. So he is a forward. Is only great for the game, but it's great for the Bulldogs. But he's able to hit the scoreboard, have an impact at ground level and in the air.
Terrific crumb by Hannon to Norton. Terrific out of the centre bounce there. The Bulldogs started with a McRae clearance. Pounced on there by Hannon. Good shepherd from Waitman as well from this contest, and it's ended up with a set shot for Aaron Norton.
It's centre square bounce scoring chain, so it was it really just a kick to advantage, but Hannon read it really well off the ground, as you said, and a great kick here back into the corridor. That's, I think, for Essendon, that's the one spot you really got to protect in that position, is not allow him to take a mark directly in front of goal. First
multiple goal scorer of the game is Aaron Norton. He's got 2, and the Dogs extend their lead here at the hangar. Dogs, he had 4 with the Demons, Mitch Hannon, as Shield extracts and finds Guelphy, who's been busy. Marks just inside the paint.
Well, that was a really good ball movement from Dill Shield. It was actually the hardest kick for any footballer on the outside of your boot, running across your body, if that makes sense. That he managed to straighten up, which he's been knocked for his ball use in the past. So, and I know he's working really hard on it. But it was really good ball use there from the centre square bounce.
So Guelphy gives this one a good ride to the top of the goal square, and it goes through. Great launch from Matt Guelphy. Gets the quick response for the Bombers after a terrific kick from Dylan Shield. And that's, I suppose, Brendan, that's one aspect of Dylan Shield's game that has been well documented by lots of pundits out there, is that kicking efficiency, particularly the kicking inside 50. If you can clean that up and find options like that, that's a huge win for the Bombers.
Yeah, it is. And you got to remember, because it's Dylan, and it'll go a long way to becoming more efficient ball user.
Here's Perkins, receives and finds Heppel, who's got an open look now to Parrish for Snelling. They've worked this out well. Snelling has a good look at the goals and puts it through. The goals are flowing at the hangar. Snelling has 2, right on the siren as well. I know it's a practice game, but gives the Bombers a little momentum going into half-time. And when you look at the scoreboard, that's a big boost as well. It's just a 4-point differential between these two sides, and some great link-up play from the Bombers in the end. Snelling kicks his second goal of the game, picking up from where he left off in 2022. So we'll take a short break soon, but just